And so you'll see that perspective in his, I wanted to say Global Wizard, the blog that Bill promotes and sends out every 2 weeks, has his signature all over it, meaning he's thought about the world, he's listening to the world, he's identifying what the opportunities and challenges are and sharing those with us. And so, Bill, thank you so much for doing that. He's also on our Global Chamber Los Angeles Advisory Board, and we really appreciate all that you do. Bill, who would you like to meet and how can we help?
Well, thank you. I really appreciate your introduction. The newsletter you mentioned was started in March of 2020 when we could no longer travel overseas due to this little pandemic that we had. And now this coming Tuesday will be the 119th edition of the biweekly newsletter. Karina knows about it. We have about 4,600 subscribers. It's free. It's ad supportive in 20 countries, and I'm seeking more subscribers. So I will put it in the chat how to link in to see the newsletter, and then also how to sign up for it. So I'm looking for more subscribers, trying to get over that 5,000 mark. And that's pretty much it for me today, Doug. Can't hear you, Doug.
I guess I better unmute myself then. Thank you. One of the things that you've talked about are all the different elections around the world now with the woman president in Mexico just in office. Well, we've got over 50% of countries population-wise around the world have potential changes in elections, certainly having major elections. What's your latest view of that on?
Yeah, this year is truly unique in the history of modern man. We have national elections in 66 countries. Can you imagine? And some of those are, a sham. Some of them are elections, democracy ? And some of them are really significant, like the little one we have in about 30 days here in my country. But the main thing about these elections is that typically after elections, governments change policies. And what they usually change is something to do with business. Very often it's taxes or regulations. And so changing elections occurring really does have an impact on doing business around the world. And we're yet to see what the results of 66 national elections in 1 year is going to be. But so far, it's about what we expected. The Democratic election in Russia was, I think he got 92% of the vote. That's pretty good. That's a sham. Others like the UK, even in Indonesia, were very important elections, change of government. And so there you have to start looking at what the economic policies are if you want to do business in those countries.
How much of the world do you monitor, and is Africa a part of that?
Well, let me go back to the elections. Elections this year covering 49% of the world's population, 52% of the world's GDP. So you can see it's really significant. Our newsletter covers the world. We usually have input from, we look at about 40 information sources that we've defined as being real. And then I've got my team members in 20 countries that give us feedback. And we read every day. I've already started this morning before this, reading a number of sources to see what type of articles will go in the newsletter when we create it this weekend. Usually we look at about 10 to 15 countries. They vary. China and the US are always in there with a couple of articles. We always put graphs in and charts because humans don't read a lot of words, but they like charts and pictures, right? And so you can read it. It's free. The website is geowizard.biz, B-I-Z, geowizard.biz. My first career was in the oil business. I lived and traveled all over the world. So that's my geology, geophysics. And when you're ancient, you really are a wizard to stay alive, for one thing, but also to tell people what's going on.
Got it. Fantastic. Thank you for sharing. Um,
Thank you, Jim.
we look forward to the information as well. Let's continue to go around the room. And Robert McCullough, are you there? Uh, are you open to speak about the regional opportunities? And so I don't hear from you. And so I think in the past, I'm wondering if you're there or your microphone doesn't work. But if you do, if you can speak, please unmute yourself, and we'll weave you in. Let's while we're there, let's go to Peter Grabeck. You're in the same region. You've been a member of Global Chamber a few different times, so thank you for the long work that we've done with you. It's always great to support you, and I remember earlier this year you had quite a road trip where you met several people, including Nihi Sanusi, who's here on the call in Lagos. Who would you like to meet coming up, Peter? How can we help? Oh, are you there? Oh, that's sad. We wanted to hear from you. And so if you also can speak here in a moment, please let us know. Let's go to Karina because I know you're there.
I
And you're also
am.
and
I
you're also
am.
amazing. And the Middle East, one of the things I love about the post that you have on LinkedIn is it's just so real about the opportunities that are there, and there are so many. Congratulations on your work in helping people be successful there. What would you like to share today? Who would you like to meet?
Um, I think, what I would like to say to sort of like the wider community is it's quite interesting. And I think Bill touched on this already a little bit, with all the elections and everything coming up. I think there's a lot of turmoil in like the Western world, US, Europe. It's the same. I'm in the UK and London. It's the same, higher taxes and things. So I think, what I've seen is that a lot more people are looking to the Middle East because it is a really thriving region. There's obviously a lot of tax advantages, and also they're investing a lot of money in different projects and also like in innovative projects. So I would definitely say, if anybody is looking to do business in maybe a different part of the world that they haven't considered, then maybe the Middle East could be a good option. And it was really interesting because I was speaking at a conference in Turkey about 3 weeks ago, and I asked them, who from you guys has heard about the different visions and what they want to achieve, like in the Gulf states? And out of 300 people, only 2 people had heard of it, which really blew my mind. And I thought, Turkey is almost a bit like a neighbor to the Gulf, and they didn't know. So I just thought there's so many more people who don't know. So I would really say, you might want to take a look at it because there's lots of opportunities in different industries. And I will put my LinkedIn in the chat as well. So if you want to just get a bit of a gist, I also have, like Bill, I also have a newsletter. Mine is very Middle East heavy. I talk about lots of different projects and what's going on. So if you just want to scope out and see what's going on, feel free to connect with me and sign up to the newsletter.
Fantastic. Opening up the floor to any questions for either Karina or Bill. Normal, both of them are very succinct today, so we have time for question. Any questions or comments, please? And that's okay. So thank you, Karina. When you work with folks, is it more of a consulting engagement where you're tailoring your knowledge and their business to what the opportunities are? What are you actually providing, and what does the company typically look like in the best case?
It's a real mix of companies. So I'm working with a travel company at the moment, and they do have some Middle Eastern clients, but they want to have some more. My background is also travel and hospitality. So, but we've looked at basically all of their things. We looked at all of their social media. We looked at how their sales team is engaging with the people out there. So there's a little bit of education on it as well, where they are engaging, because there's a lot of there's a lot of great opportunity on LinkedIn, but a lot of people, I think, are not using it to its full potential, and how they can find clients, and then also for them to understand how they can stay on top of news from the region and what's going on in the region. So that's where I come in. It's a little bit of education, it's strategy, it's consultancy also to say, look at this project, look at this project, there may be opportunity here and here. So it really varies, but I've also worked with like a law company and like various other different companies that needed just a bit of direction because they just felt it was so overwhelming. There was so much information.
That makes sense. One more quick question. You are very effective in LinkedIn. How did that happen? Is that something that you just kind of developed on your own, or did you reach out to somebody to get their advice and then modify your approach? You get a lot of followers, you get a lot of engagement. Your topics are really fascinating, I think. They kind of really pop and stand out. How did you develop that?
I mean, I think like for me, I've been doing this for quite a number of years now. It started during COVID, and it was really interesting because I saw a couple of people gain a lot more traction on LinkedIn. And I thought, oh, maybe, this is a good way of like creating business, getting a bit of visibility, but also building my brand on LinkedIn. So yes, I did this very intentionally. I also did a couple of courses on LinkedIn. So again, if you have any questions, or if you ever, Doug, if you ever want to have a session on LinkedIn, I'm very happy to like share my expertise, because I know that this platform is really, really valuable, especially with business. And I see that here in the UK, that so many companies are sleeping on this. It's like it's unbelievable. And when I was in Saudi last week, they were telling me the first place we're looking if we're checking somebody out is on LinkedIn. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And one of the companies that I saw, like even the people on the floor were on LinkedIn. They were like, oh, you're on LinkedIn. Can we connect with you? I was like, oh, this is great. I love it. So it's a really good way of building your brand, showing, what is your personality? What does your company stand for? And it's not about repurposing, I'd say, these corporate press releases. They don't really work. So you need to have a bit of a mix of content. And the other thing I would say is it's not so much about the company page. Yes, it's great to have a company page, but if we think in terms of personal branding, it's all about you. People do business with people, so they want to know like what are you about? How are you? And that's why like I do a lot of sort of like storytelling on LinkedIn of things that I've seen, things that and I guess people love that, because a lot of it, I think a lot of the people that follow me are also in London. They don't really have that much exposure to the Middle East, and they're like, oh my God, we never even knew this. So it's great.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Great work.
actually, Doug, this is Emmy. How are you? I wanted to kind of like piggyback on what Karina saying. I also do like social media listening, which where, as she mentioned, LinkedIn is huge on the business, B2B especially, and I provide also like sentiment analytics for businesses. Like, it's a branding, it's a reputation. Those are the things that, we provide like a AI based solutions. And so whoever wanted to see what your, brand is and reputation is doing through LinkedIn, like the Facebook, Instagrams, all those social medias, let me know. I'd be more than happy to really help you show on the platform what you are doing well and what you're not doing well, and or like, challenges or damage solutions, like especially for customer service issues, for financial services and stuff. I'd be more than happy to, review that with you guys as well.
Thanks, Emmy. Appreciate it. Emmy Hanato, do you mind just maybe segueing into who you would like to meet and anything that you would like to share. You're based in Florida.
Yes, I'm currently based in Florida. I'm actually with a company called ODR Global, which is based in Colorado Springs and Philippines. We're providing custom tailored solution for any AI processing or whatever the challenges that you have. One of the things that sort of Karina mentioned as was also doing like, any social media listening so that you can understand what your brand reputation is. So I'm here to help, and I've been actually GC for different different organization, different things. But this is where my like a trusted sources, and I'm really happy to connect. And so whoever wanted to utilize generative AI, let me know.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Just going back, I've got someone, Bill, for you, an introduction, and I'll share that with Cesar after. And Karina, there's a new member from Uzbekistan. He's not a new member, but he's signing up right now. So when he's very interested in the Middle East, I think he'll be a really good one for you. He needs a lot of help in different areas, and that'll be a good one. A lot of oil and gas stuff for him. So I'll be in touch with that. And so for Emmy, typically are there particular types of companies that are best for you, either location or types of companies?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not really pertaining to like okay specific industries, but what we actually helping was, for example, right now Florida's in hurricane season. A lot of like let's say like trucking industry, logistics, they probably need a lot of help to how safely all those truck drivers can get to destination by using AI. And that's one of the things we actually done with one of the organization based in US. We have a use case for doing that, also connected to media, weather media solutions. So you get like a real time, information so they can get to places safely. So we've done some of the stuff like that, as well as we do like a lot of social media stuff where like a video to video coaching solutions where they can actually improve their process to have their coaching videos up and running so that they can get the certifications, they can gamify their coaching businesses. So we're open to any. It doesn't have to be US. It could be Middle East. I mean, I'm definitely interested in like Middle East because it's I think a new areas for us. So yeah, I'd love to get with Karina as well.
So sounds good. I'll say sorry. The name of the person for Karina is Abos, his first name, Abbos, and I'll follow up with you on that because I don't think you've met him yet. That came in from a member somewhere. And then Emmy, Steve Kim of NGL might be an interesting
Okay,
one on the logistics side. He's based in
excellent.
Alabama and in Savannah, but
Okay.
also across the U.S. Logistics company, and so that might be an interesting one for you as well.
Yeah, I mean, that would be great. We can help anything to do that, get people safe to destination. That's one of our missions as well. So
Very good. Thank you very much. Let's go now north to Tino Melita. And also, Tino, your firm is not just in Montreal where you are, but they're based in Argentina and working regionally and globally. So congratulations on that. Who would you like to meet and how can we help?
Good morning to everybody, or good afternoon to some of you. Yes, my name is Tino Melita. I'm based in Montreal, Canada. However, our headquarters is Argentina. So we specialize in Spanish and into Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese. So we do a lot of translations, interpretation, voiceover, especially today, a lot of videos. So we do a lot of dubbing. And our main customers are those who are wanting to go global. Our name of the company is Go Global Consulting. So we're like a consulting company in the language industry. So we help customers to penetrate new markets. Every localization, we say we don't do translation, but we localize their products, we localize their services. Everybody likes to buy from the internet in their native language. So we try to localize, there's Spanish Latin America, there's Spanish for Spain, There's French from Canada, French from France, there's French from Africa. So that's what we do. We've been in business for 15 years now. We're ISO certified, and we take data very seriously. We're in the final stages of getting certified ISO 27001. That means that anything that you do with us, it's going to be secure. We have a client portal free of use. So everything that we do is certified, and we take our work very serious. So our 6 industries that we focus in is pharmaceutical, which includes also clinical trials and medical devices. Anything that's fintech, finance, banking, insurance, and manufacturing. Those are the ones that we really focus. Obviously, if anybody else calls us, we'll find them. We've been in business for 15 years. We have over 5,000 freelancers around the world. So we do any language to any language, but our specialty is Latin America and the French Canadian, because I'm based in Montreal.
Thank you very much. We have a new member. It's a visionary sponsor called Go Global, but it's a different Go Global. So there's, do you know of those guys? Does that ring a bell?
No,
Okay.
no.
I'll send you the information. I mean, maybe they're more of an HR services EOR company, and I would
Okay.
imagine it should be a good interaction. Most of the people we're working with are based in Europe, and Geneva, and I think London. But they work globally. So I'll get you connected there.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. Our CEO is based out of Madrid, so
Okay.
I have 2 partners, one in Madrid and one in Argentina. So we're global. We have 15 offices around the world.
Okay. So Cesar, as we get the other Go Global on board here, probably it'll make sense to make sure that they're connected. Thank you, Tino. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody.
Let's continue to go around in the room, and I wanted to next go to Mark. Mark, based in Barcelona, congratulations on your leadership. Thank you for your thought leadership and your global view. What are some of the things that you would like to share? Who would you like to meet? Oh, you're on.
Yes,
There you
I was on mute. I'm sorry. Thank you, Doc.
No problem.
Yeah, thank you. So it's a pleasure. So yeah, so I'm based in Barcelona, but I lived for 10 years in Brazil, and I work with B2 International Consulting. We are a consulting firm specialized in helping corporations expand their businesses in Brazil, or helping Brazilian companies expand their business, especially in Europe. But we do have also some good contacts in the Middle East. Anyway, we do specialized in looking for local partners. It can go with M&As or joint ventures, or even with some commercial representations where we help corporations introduce their products into the Brazilian market. The company was created 12 years ago. We've got offices in Barcelona and in Sao Paulo. And we are ready to help anyone that needs to do business in Brazil. So if you need any partner or any advice or any support in Brazil, you can count on us. We've got good contacts at the political level, at the financial level, business-wise level as well. So yeah, so anything that you guys need from Brazil, just like you can think of me and B2.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions for Mark? And Beatrice, have you guys met already? You and Mark?
Yes, we met.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
We've been in touch. Yes.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. And Mark, have you seen Yuka lately? Because she's traveling right now.
I saw her in the event we had here in Barcelona last week, I think, which was a blast. That was a great event.
Okay.
So yeah, so we talk quite often, and problem is to see Yuka. I mean, it's different. It's difficult to see Yuka because she's always traveling and always doing something. But we're in close touch.
Was that the event where Katie Keith came in from Global Chamber London? And I think there were a variety of the district.
That's right. Yes. To me, that's been one of the most interesting events, because you've got people from Global Chamber London, but you also had people from Gala. So it's just like we can, and I had spent the whole day already with Paula from Global Chamber Porto as well in a trade show here in Barcelona called the District. So it was quite a blast to see how we went, or we took our monthly meeting to another level. That was very nice.
Fantastic. Your company is called B2 International Consulting.
That's correct.
Okay.
I'm gonna put the details here in the chat as well for everyone to see.
Thank you very much. We do have the Global Chamber London has a special monthly meetup today. It starts in an hour and a half, and special in the sense they meet every month, but I believe the advisory board, some key leaders on the advisory board will be speaking today and providing their comments about the opportunities in London and the UK post-election. And so feel free to join. The newsletter that went out this morning or in the last few hours to the members so far, and it's going out to the non-members, I think, later today. It was headlined by the picture of the four women who are the main speakers for that event. So join. That's in 90 minutes. Beatrice, we introduced you briefly. You're based in Brazil. You, like I, have a chemical background, so I love what you're doing, and your ability to help people with the compliance issues related to that on the manufacturing side and handling side are critically important. Who would you like to meet, and how can we help?
Thank you, Doc. Yes, I would like to meet people connected with manufacturing operations in cosmetics, household care, food industry, that want to improve their quality assurance programs, reduce microbial contamination risk, or I don't know, for example, one of the pillars of my consultation is associated with open innovation, so I'm able to connect people regarding their technologies. Here in Brazil is an opportunity also for the open innovation with academia, understand what are the strengths, and not only compliance, also associated with the biodiversity law here in Brazil. So whatever company that want to reduce their quality risk or learn more about what the Brazilian biodiversity can offer for their business, I can help with that. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you also get involved in sustainability issues for these companies?
Yeah, I'm more associated with water treatment and water reuse. That is what I do, is part of the quality assurance, because it's not only about risk, it's also about losses. And if you are able to reuse the water from effluents, this is a way to contribute to sustainability and also to reduce losses. So that's in that area I can help too.
That sounds good. So Cesar, maybe Hank Marshall, if he hasn't been connected to Beatrice yet, and their water technology. Thank you, Beatrice. We're going to continue to go around the room. Let's next go. We've talked to Emmy, we've talked to Karina, Beatrice. Just a quick heads up for everybody. Francis and Jemima, We call her Jem. I guess maybe it's Jemima, but Jem are both new to Global Chamber. Jem is helping mainly on the marketing side, and Francis is helping both on marketing and selling, and also, primarily just getting our systems in place. As we've continued to grow, we, you have growing pains, right? You start to realize that all the things you want to do, you can't do because you don't have, the right people. And so thankfully, they've only both been on board for a week, and just really happy to see that, they're coming up to speed very quickly. We have lots of things that they're busy with and that we're teaching. The back office for Global Chamber is a little complicated, but somehow we've been able to kind of put it together with matchbooks and sticks and glue, and it's working, but it needs to work more effectively as we reach the next phase. Next year is our 10th anniversary for Global Chamber, and so there's a lot that we need to do to get to the next level. And Francis and Jem will be a key part of that. So welcome, ladies. Jem is in Singapore and Francis is in the Philippines. Thank you both. Let's now continue to go around. And so Maha Arun. Maha is based in India. And so Maha, you and I have known each other for quite a number of years, and your expertise in exporting and working with companies in India has just been so very important for them. Tell us more about who you would like to meet and how we can help.
Thank you so much, Doug. Good evening, gentlemen and gentle ladies here. This is Maha. I'm from India. We help manufacturers and traders, typically small and medium companies, who lack confidence or clarity how to expand to international market. We help them systemizing their approach, their strategy, their USP, understanding their ideal market segment. My focus in Global Chamber is to connect with members who are typically working with importers, and also who are interested in helping small and medium companies network with other countries' small and medium companies, because these companies lack huge resources or financial strength to understand what's happening on the other side of the market. So that's one of the focus. As Beatrice was explaining about her service, I just quickly remembered one of our clients is a manufacturer of walls who's specialized in high resistant abrasion, supplying for water effluent treatments and steel manufacturing companies. So I would be happy if that's why I put up that question in the chat box, whether you focus only on the compliance side, or do you also recommend or help your clients to scrutinize their vendors for some materials or valves, because valves being the very important material in water treatment and chemical industry. So that's all from my side. And I want to say a huge thank you to Mr. Tamer. We got to meet with one of our clients. He was so helpful. He was explaining a lot of things. Probably things are in the pipeline. So thank you, Doug, for putting together this amazing set of people and the Global Chamber. Thank you so much.
Thank you. One of the opportunities, and there are many opportunities in India, is the semiconductor segment, and there are a variety of investments going on in India where I think the first chips will be produced in December. It's in the newsletter, and I forget which company it is, but I know Micron Technologies is part of it. I don't think that was in the newsletter, but there's a variety of investments going on in India, where India, again, is looking to replace some activity in China which will take a few years, but at least there are some investments going on. It also reminds me of the Middle East and how important the semiconductor industry may be in the future for the Middle East as it begins to invest in semiconductor industry. If you haven't read the book, and I'm about halfway through it, but the book called Chip Wars has been fascinating for me. I do it on while I'm riding my bike, and so I'm about halfway through listening to it. But the how it pieces together the semiconductor history and also now how the dynamics of the world are largely hinged rather than on oil, although oil is important, it seems to have shifted to semiconductors and the investment in the Middle East and in India and around the world in the semiconductor industry is really changing the world. And I recommend the book very highly. And definitely, if you're not involved with the industry or don't know enough about it yet, I recommend the book, and I just recommend learning more because it's the future of the world, along with artificial intelligence, which is driving that. Thank you, Maha, for sharing, and look forward to continue to work with you. I saw Santosh was in the call earlier, and I know you work with Santosh in Bengaluru with the chapter and beyond. Thanks for all your work.
Thank you, Jeff.
You mentioned about exporting and insurance. Actually, you also did. And Monica Varas is a longtime member of Global Chamber. She helps with insurance, both on the import and the export side, and generally with insurance, special cases and otherwise. Monica, thank you for joining. Nearby my own hometown in the tri-state area of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. Who would you like to meet, and how can we help?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the introduction, Doc. Well, right now I'm helping companies that are expanding to other countries in how to protect their assets and follow the regulations. And with the political issues that we have right now, we recommend companies to review their policies and check some different products that we can offer, like political risk, business interruption, general liabilities. We also are facing weather issues, and for those companies that are facing those issues, we can offer parametric products that usually help a lot in the agricultural, gas, and mining industry. We have a lot of different products for companies that are expanding to other countries. I will be more than happy to have a consultation with anyone that would like to review their coverage. Like you said, I'm in New Jersey, between New Jersey and New York, but I'm gonna put all my information on the chat, and more than happy to help working with a lot of international companies at the moment.
So I don't know if we've connected you to Emergent Risk International yet, but that would be a natural fit. The people, the CEO is in Rhode Island, but they have a Middle East connection now. Their marketing head is there, and so I think that one would make sense. And whether that's the person in I think he's in Dubai, or one of the people in the U.S. So that would be an idea. If anybody else has ideas for not just for Monica, but for any of the speakers today, please feel free to share in the chat area. If you don't connect with everyone here on LinkedIn in the next 24 hours, you will see a post that has everyone here, whether they spoke or not. There's a few people who haven't been able to speak, and I've got about 4 or 5 that came and went for whatever reason, so they'll be there as well. But certainly all the speakers will be there for sure. So if you miss connecting, hopefully you'll connect one way or another. Tamer Flores, you were mentioned earlier in a very positive way. You recently gave a couple different presentations at Global Chamber about helping companies be more successful growing internationally with their brand, and also how to go to market, how you build sales networks and a variety of other ways to help people be more successful. You're based in Florida. uh, BizDevGlow is your company. And I guess at this point, I should mention some of you may have received an email from Alignable, which was probably my mistake. I made this mistake last night as I was leaving, and my wife was saying, "We need you here with your grandson. Would you please finish up your work?" And right before I left, I had the opportunity in Alignable to say, "Send out an invitation to your network." And I found out it was like 15,000 people. It was like, oh my God. So over the next couple hours, all these people were saying, "Is this real? Is this you?" And I also found out that it's kind of a nifty network, but it's only US and Canada. There's like nothing global about it. So it's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. So if you do see something from Doug Brunke in Global Chamber in Alignable, I'm sorry, but I do think it's a good network. It's just, it's only US and Canada, so it's kind of pointless for many of us. But there are some interesting people in there, and so that's what that was all about.
Don't
And I
worry,
thought
dog.
of that, Hammer, because you were in there too. I don't know if you were in there before, but I saw
Yes,
Business in
yes,
there. So
yes, yes. Don't worry, dog. I have you directly into spam. So I, no, no, I did get the invite.
and
And
undoubtedly, out of the 15,000, probably almost, over 10,000 went to spam. But what would you like to share, and who would you like to meet, Tamara?
well,
And
a couple
sorry
of
for the
things.
email.
Yeah, no, and I'm in Alignable in the, in the Central Florida area. So, but I have muted a little bit because I started receiving too many emails from them. So I have, reduced the quantity of emails. So I get it when there's an invitation, but not every message that they send me. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about is what I do. I work with companies that want to expand internationally, and I help them by guiding their efforts. And I become their fractional chief global growth officer. And the most important part about my company is that I create innovative ways to enter new markets. And basically, I create a new strategy that is most of the times different than what everybody else does and what every other company does, and at the same time, more successful. So if you know of any company that is looking to expand internationally and they want to do it in a way that is different, better, and simple, well, that's me. My motto is better, simple, different, and that's why. Now, for example, I'm trying to think about a strategy right now to jump on a Milton that is going to knock my door in 2 days, and maybe ride Milton up to the Atlantic and see how many people can I help over there. I am a little distracted, and probably Jim Cook and Mona Lou Cherkawi are not here because of Milton. So we hope that everything is going to be fine. But I can tell you it's going to be passing really, really almost on top of my house. So we'll see what happens. And anyway, if you have a company that really wants to do something different and grow internationally, let me know, and I will work with you and with other professionals, to make that happen.
You're talking about not earthquake, a Hurricane Milton. So when does it arrive, and when is it going to be over your house?
Wednesday night, Thursday, like Thursday morning, most likely, like 8 a.m. or something, 8
Okay.
to 11 a.m. So
Okay.
yeah, it was going to go faster, but now it's going slower, which is, I think, worse. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to move a little bit north, maybe an hour or so, and see, hopefully still it's not going to be too much damage. When it gets to the center of Central Florida, like in the middle between the two coasts, it's going to be a little less strong. So hopefully, but the people at Tampa is going to be, really, they're already moving because they're in trouble now. So we'll see. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
Hopefully, I pray for not craziness. I'm actually in South Florida, so luckily my side I got off the cones, but they just had a Helena, which was a really big one as well. So it's kind of back to back, and I feel bad for them. So.
Yeah, well, you can get Milton if you want. I don't mind.
Well, feel free to come to South Florida. Right now it's
Yes.
not raining; it's just a little overcast, but feel free, have extra room. So.
It's amazing how everything is so nice and sunny right now. So
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
2 days is going to be chaos, but we'll see.
Come before the storm, and we were talking about climate change and the impact of that. The storms are getting worse, and until we do something about it. And so hopefully you guys withstand this one, and at some point we become more active as a global tribe collectively beyond global chamber to make bigger changes. I think
Yeah.
there may only be one other that I haven't called on, but correct me if I'm wrong. So Nihi Sanusi is an important member of Global Chamber because he's our board chair for Lagos, Nigeria, and he's well connected all across Africa, and he's a trusted resource. And so really for anything you're doing in Africa, Nihi is a great resource. Nihi, who would you like to meet? Anything you would like to share?
Yeah, thank you, Doug. Good afternoon from Lagos, Nigeria. I always like to meet anyone who has potential interest in Africa. We have a network of lawyers across the continent in 13 countries out of 54, but building. So we are able to support businesses and legal interests of all kinds in those countries and potentially larger. In the next few weeks, we have a French-speaking event for French-speaking lawyers. It's an AI event actually for French-speaking lawyers on the continent. We also have at the moment developing newsletters in about 4 different languages, including French, Portuguese, Spanish, and of course Arabic. I have an Arabic version which I will likely send to Corina just for her interest. We have the English version, of course, which is much more prevalent for everyone. So hopefully, once our Spanish and Portuguese newsletters are developed, I'll be able to send it to a wider range of people, including Cesar and probably Tino, as I see. So thank you very much. Always a pleasure to be here.
Merci beaucoup. With Global Chamber Communities, GC Communities, we are actually doing some adjustment this week because many of the groups are quite active that are like topics like motivation and leadership and logistics and some others that are hot topics. The regional groups within GC communities are less so. There's only maybe 2 or 3 dozen of those that are more active. And so we're cutting out a bunch of them and we're moving them all underneath the Global Chamber community in WhatsApp. And that'll be done this week. There are a couple of additions of groups, and one of them is a French-speaking group. And so I'll make sure that you're connected to Yelem Ku from Global Chamber, who's putting that together. And so maybe you can help promote that event and also be involved going forward. Other than English and French, are those your 2 main languages?
No, as I said, we have Arabic. I can send that. We're looking at circulating with Arabic speakers, as well as the Portuguese, Spanish. We already have the translation in Portuguese. We just want to do a few things and then send out to you, send out to clients and potential clients as well.
How about you? Do you speak English and French and any other languages?
Yeah, I'm beginning to pick up on my French, but the French AI is very important now. So we had to, basically everything in AI is English speaking, and I believe Chinese. So the French guys, especially the African French speaking lawyers, are left behind. So, but I'm trying a bit.
Okay. part of the GC communities, there's going to be 8 regional groups. One is the Middle East. There's 3 in Asia. And so we'll be announcing that Sanjeev Kagram, who left Thunderbird School of Global Management as their CEO, is working with me, and we're working on getting a global council for Global Chamber put together. So watch for more over the next few weeks on that, and that's rolling out in January. Ahead of that, GC communities will be reflecting those 8 main groupings within the world, the regional groups, and those were some of them that will be identified and put into play. Is there anybody that we missed? I don't think so. I think we're all set. If we missed, yell out, please. Remember, in about an hour, Global Chamber London monthly meetup with the advisory board and others within the chapter and around the world will be online. So please join us in an hour if you can. Cesar, are you there? Is there anything that we left out or anything you would like to add, please?
No, thank you, Doug. I think I just want to make sure that Beatriz saw a question from Maha, Monica saw a question from Pierre. There were a couple of questions in the chat, so just making sure, Monica and Beatriz, you saw those questions.
I'm already connected with
I'm
Maha.
looking at. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the questions right now, and I'm trying to answer in them. I will suggest everyone. I'm gonna put my WhatsApp number in my email, because when it comes to political issues and a lot of the coverage, it's a lot of information that we need to review. So please, let's connect that way so I can provide you with the proper information.
Thank you, Cesar. Me and Beatrice are just connected over LinkedIn and been just discussing the same. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. And thanks, everyone.
And I saw something from Peter. He wasn't able to speak today, but I think he was looking to be connected, something with French speaking. Did you see that, Cesar?
Yeah, he wants to be added to the group when we build that group.
I see. Very good. See some of you in an hour. Thanks, everybody, for your support and collaboration. If there's any help that you need at any time, or you get an idea or a brainstorm of someone you'd like to meet, please let us know. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jeff.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thanks, bro.
everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Arigato gozaimashita. Merci beaucoup. Dankeschön.